I know this sounds absolutely insane, so bear with me. I, 38 years old, have an unusual domestic situation. My best friend for my entire life has been Adam, 38 years old. We've known each other since we were babies. Adam is gay. I was the first person he came out to, and he was my roommate for a long time after his parents found out, and things got ugly. He married his husband John, 39 years old, who was also a close college friend of ours, so we've all been tight for a long time. I've decided that I'm not the marrying type, but I did want to have children, and Adam and John also wanted a family, so we decided to unalive two birds with one stone. We have two sons, 6, 8, both of which are biologically mine, and Adam and John are each the biological father of one of the boys. It's worked out way better than we could ever have hoped. This year we decided to go in together on a bigger house and live together. The boys are getting to the age that they could do with their own rooms, and all us adults have been roommates before, so we know we live well together, plus it would simplify things a lot. The boys love us all being in the same house, and it's a good arrangement for everyone. Adam has been talking to his parents for the last couple of years, and they are trying to repair the relationship. He's been feeling positive about it. He asked, and we all agreed that they could come visit the Saturday after Thanksgiving and meet the boys. Adam had already explained the living situation. Because we always thought of the kids as all of ours and the kids call us all their parents, it didn't really occur to me that the biological parentage would be an issue for Adam's parents. Things were okay, and everyone was behaving until we put the kids to bed. I went to my room to give the others some space to talk. I heard Adam raise his voice a little but decided not to get involved. Not long after, his mum knocked on my door and asked to talk. It boiled down to she and her husband wanted to know which of the boys was their grandson. They both favour me right now more than Adam and John, so it's not obvious. I had a suspicion that something was up, so I told her that she needed to talk to Adam and John about it. They refused to answer the question because both boys are their children, so she wanted me to. It turned into a really uncomfortable situation. Adam and his dad aren't speaking, and I've gotten some messages from his mom trying to backtrack but also press for info at the same time. A friend of mine said that while it was smart to not disclose without consulting Adam and John, we're delving into jerk territory by refusing to explain the biological relationships involved, and it's not wrong for the grandparents to want to know, especially since John's parents know. They only know because they were very involved with helping us with the pregnancies, and when the boys were tiny since my parents have passed on, however. Am I the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot at all. If they can't recognise that both children are their grandchildren, then Adam should go no contact with them, although obviously that's up to Adam. The favouritism could potentially be very damaging for the kids. Comment 2. Just tell them that both sets of sperm were mixed together for insemination so none of you know. Now for the update. Hey everyone, thanks for reading my last post. So, a lot has happened in the past 3 days. After the whole ordeal with Adam's parents, things were tense around the house. We all sat down and had a long talk about how to handle the situation. Adam was really hurt by his parents' insistence on knowing which boy was biologically his. John was upset too, but he was more focused on how it was affecting Adam and the kids. The next day, Adam's mum sent me another message. She apologised for the awkwardness, but still hinted that she felt entitled to know about her biological grandson. I didn't reply. Instead, I showed the message to Adam and John, and we agreed that it was best to keep a united front. We decided that if Adam's parents couldn't accept both boys as their grandsons, then maybe they weren't ready to be a part of our family's life. On Monday, Adam's parents called. They wanted to come over and talk. We were hesitant, but Adam felt it was important to give them another chance to understand our family dynamic. They came over that evening, and we all sat in the living room. It was a bit awkward at first, but Adam took the lead. He explained how our family works, how we all love the boys equally, and that their insistence on knowing the biological details was hurtful. His parents listened, and there were some tears. They admitted that they were struggling to understand, but wanted to try. The conversation was going well until Adam's dad made a comment about traditional family values and how our situation was complicated. Adam got upset, and the discussion quickly went south. Voices were raised, and the boys could hear the commotion from their rooms. John and I stepped in to calm things down. We suggested that maybe it was best to take a break from the conversation and revisit it another time. Adam's parents agreed, and they left, but the air was still heavy with unresolved tension. The following day we focused on the boys and tried to keep things normal for them. We went to the park, played games, and just enjoyed our time together. But in the back of our minds, we were all worried about what would happen next with Adam's parents. That evening, as we were putting the boys to bed, there was a knock on the door. It was Adam's mum, alone this time. She was crying and said she needed to talk to us. We were all wary, but we let her in. She told us that she and Adam's dad had a big fight after leaving our house. She said that she didn't want to lose her son again or miss out on being a part of her grandson's lives, regardless of biology. We talked for a long time, and it seemed like she was beginning to understand. She asked if she could spend some time with the boys, just doing normal grandma stuff. We were cautiously optimistic and agreed to a trial period where she could visit and spend time with the boys under our supervision. Adam was emotionally exhausted but hopeful. John was supportive, and I was just glad to see some progress. We all went to bed feeling a little lighter, but we knew that Adam's dad was still a wild card. The next morning we woke up to find a letter on our doorstep. It was from Adam's dad. In the letter he apologized for his behavior and admitted that he was scared of what he didn't understand. He asked for a chance to make things right and to be a part of the boys' lives. We haven't responded yet. We're not sure if it's genuine or just another attempt to get what they want. Adam is torn, and John and I are trying to be there for him. We're going to take some time to think about it and talk it over. For now, the boys are happy and oblivious to the adult drama, and we want to keep it that way. We're planning a small trip this weekend, just the four of us, to get away and clear our heads. We'll see what happens when we get back. Now for the comments. Comment 1. You're not the idiot for protecting your kids from potential favoritism and hurt. It's a tough spot, but you're doing right by your family. Stick to your guns and maybe consider family counselling if Adam's folks can't respect your boundaries. It's all about what's best for the boys. Comment 2. Had a similar issue when my sister adopted. Our parents were fixated on blood ties. It took a lot of firm conversations and setting boundaries before they finally got it. It's hard, but standing your ground now sets the tone for respect in the future. Hang in there. Now, for the next story. When I, 26-year-old female, was 7 years old, I lost my dad. My mum remarried when I was 9 years old. My stepsister, 29-year-old female, was 12 at the time. We had very different experiences with the whole blending of the families. I didn't really want it to happen and wasn't exactly looking to make them my new dad and sister. They never really became that either, but I have accepted that they are family. With my stepsister, her mum chose not to be in her life, and she always longed for a family where she had a mom and maybe some siblings. It made us all living together uncomfortable with me and her wanting very different things, and her dad and my mom really unhappy with how I felt about us becoming a real family, as they would put it. We're all okay now. Not so close. But no hate or animosity there anymore. At least it was hidden well until this. So my stepsister married when she was 20 years old and had her son then too. She lost her husband 2 years ago. Her son is now 9 years old. My stepsister has met a man, a widower, and he has 2 kids under 3 years old. They are trying to get to the point where they move in together, but her son is not really blending with them, which is how she said it. He's not unkind or rude, but he's not really making an effort is how she views it. And he has said he doesn't want to be part of the new family she wants. They decided to go away for the weekend together and see if that would be a good experience and whether it would help them bond. She said her son ignored when the 3-year-old wanted to hold his hand, and then he didn't want to sit with her partner, who was also looking at the stars on their first night there. He also didn't want to take photos with them all. So she decided I needed to talk to him, as someone who also lost my dad. She said the adult me could give him a more mature insight into everything. I told her I would talk to him, but I would not read from a script. She told me to just be honest. I did talk to her son. I assured him that how he was feeling was okay, and that I had felt the same way. I told him it was okay for his feelings to change, and I answered honestly that mine hadn't really. They had just softened so I could like them as people, even if they weren't my dad and sister. He liked hearing that, and he said he really did believe that would be how he'd feel, and I assured him it was okay. He was honest with how he just didn't feel the way his mum wanted to, and I related to him with that. My stepsister did not like that, and a couple of days later she was calling to curse me out and saying I didn't help her like I had said I would. She told me her son was more sure now that he didn't want to try and be a family with them, and she told me I was so selfish to ruin her life the way I had ruined my mum's. I told her my concern was with her son and how he was doing. She told me to go frick myself. Am I the idiot? Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Not the idiot. I think your second to last sentence emphasizes the point. You seem to be the only one thinking of the child's feelings here, mostly because you lived through that experience and have empathy for it. Nothing about that can be considered jerk behavior. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Honestly, I don't really think your stepsister is an AH either, and I really feel for everything she has gone through. But in this situation, it sounds like you are the one giving her son what he really needs to hear. Now for the update. Hey everyone, thanks for all the comments and support on my last post. It's been a wild few months since then and a lot has happened. I figured it was time to give you all an update on the situation with my stepsister and her son. After that big blowout with my stepsister, things cooled down for a bit. She didn't apologize, but she also stopped blaming me for her son's feelings. I guess she realized that I was just being honest with him, and that's what he needed. We didn't talk much though, which was probably for the best. Her son, my nephew, started seeing a therapist to help him work through his feelings about the new family dynamic. He's been doing a lot better since then. He's still not super excited about the whole step-family thing, but he's not as resistant as he was before. He's been spending more time with his mum's partner and the kids, and they've been finding some common ground. They've started doing game nights once a week, which seems to be helping. My stepsister's partner has been really understanding through all of this. He's been patient with her son and hasn't been pushing him to bond. I think that's been key in helping her son warm up to him a little. They've even started working on a model airplane together, which is something her son is really into. But just when things seem to be getting better, my stepsister's partner's ex-in-laws got involved. They've been trying to get more visitation with the kids, and it's been causing a lot of stress. They don't think my stepsister is a good influence on their grandkids, and they've been pretty vocal about it. It's been tough on everyone, especially the kids who don't understand what's going on. In the midst of all this, my mum and stepdad have been trying to sell their house. They're planning to downsize now that all of us kids are grown up. But the selling process has been a nightmare. They've had a couple of buyers back out at the last minute, and it's been really frustrating for them. They're stressed out, and it's been causing some tension between them. As for me, I've been trying to stay out of the drama as much as possible. I've been focusing on work and my own life. But it's hard not to get pulled back in when it's your family. I've been there for my nephew as much as I can, and I've been trying to support my mom and stepdad through the house selling process. Just last week, something strange happened. I got a message from someone claiming to be my biological dad's relative. They said they had some of his belongings that they wanted to give me. I haven't responded yet because I'm not sure if it's legit or some kind of scam. It's been on my mind a lot, though. I'm curious about what they might have, but I'm also wary of getting involved with someone I don't know. So that's where things stand right now. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, but we're all hanging in there. There are still a lot of unresolved issues, and I'm not sure how everything is going to turn out, but I'm hopeful that we'll find a way to get through it all. Thanks again for all the support. It really means a lot. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. You're not the idiot for being honest with your nephew. Blending families is tough and kids need to feel heard. Maybe suggest family counselling. It could help everyone adjust, including your stepsister's partner's kids. It's a safe space to express feelings and work through this complex dynamic together. Comment 2. Hey, you did what you could to support your nephew, and that's what counts. You're definitely not the idiot. It's tough when family drama piles up, but remember to take care of yourself too. As for the message from the supposed relative, maybe do some digging before responding. Stay strong. Now, for the next story, a little backstory. I've been dating my boyfriend for about a year. He does live at home with both of his parents. We are both in our early 30s, and it is a bit uncomfortable with dating since he lives at home. But financially, he's saving a lot of money, and with today's market, it makes sense. However, the past few months I've been coming over 2 to 3 times a week to his parents' house around dinner time and to sleep over. Every night, my boyfriend's mother makes dinner for everybody. She can get kind of cranky and irritable, so we all just try to give her her own space in the kitchen. But whenever she asks for my help, I always give her whatever assistance she may need. I also do whatever tasks she wants around the house, including sweeping, cleaning the floors, cleaning up the kitchen and the dishes after dinner, buying things outside of the home that she may need asks for, picking up her vegetable fruit coop at the local farm when she's out of town. Over Thanksgiving Day weekend, my boyfriend asked his parents if I could sleep over Saturday night. His parents stated they didn't want me to sleep over that night, so I did get kind of sad, but I went home and he slept over at my place that night. But after I left that night and before my BF came to my place, they got in a heated fight about it all. His mum stated, "She shows up right at dinner and we feel like she's freeloading. She doesn't offer to help out while I'm cooking. She doesn't help prepare the food with me." While his dad said, "I don't like having her here because it feels like I can't be comfortable when she's around." My boyfriend said he did defend me during this argument with his parents. He said that he listed off things of how I helped her in past instances and gave examples of how I always clean up the kitchen and I always do everything she asks of me. But what hurt my feelings is that my BF wants me to give a little bit more and help out more just so she shuts up about it. But I find that insulting because I've done nothing wrong. Am I the idiot for feeling insulted that I need to change? I feel like they are the ones who need to change and apologize. I'm just looking for some unbiased opinions about this whole situation. Thank you. Edith. This has been tough to read, but thank you everyone for the constructive feedback. Time to take a good hard look in the mirror. I need to stop spending time at his parents' house as I've outworn my welcome. Depression can be hard to navigate, so I've been spending time at his parents' home because it feels homey. I need to stay at my own home, and if my BF wants to spend time together, we can hang out here. Also, I just want to note, every time I go to his parents' house, I always make sure that we get the mother's approval. My boyfriend and I text and coordinate with his mum that it's okay that I come over and spend the night and have dinner with them. I never show up unannounced. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1, everyone sucks here. If it was a problem, they should have spoken up sooner, but just because they are helping out their son doesn't mean they are comfortable with you in their home 2 to 3 days a week. Do your dating outside their home for the most part until your boyfriend moves. I don't see why you're so surprised they don't like someone showing up for dinner regularly or staying the night. Comment 2. Don't go to your mother-in-law's house anymore. It's not your boyfriend's house, it's his parents. On the other hand, doesn't your boyfriend help with cooking and cleaning? What does he do while you sweep and wash the dishes? Keep in mind that if you marry, you will also marry the family. Look carefully if you want to be there. Now for the update, thanks to everyone who took the time to share their thoughts on my last post. It's been a month since I shared my story, and a lot has happened since then. I took the advice to heart and made some changes that I think have really improved the situation. First off, I had a long talk with my boyfriend about everything. I told him how I felt about his parents' comments and how it made me uncomfortable that he asked me to do more to appease them. He was really understanding and apologized for not standing up for me more. He agreed that we needed to find a better balance and make sure we were both comfortable with the situation. We decided that we would start spending more time at my place. It was a bit of an adjustment at first, but it's actually been really nice. We've been able to have more privacy, and it's given us the opportunity to work on our relationship without the added stress of his parents. Plus, it's been great for me to have him in my own space where I can feel more in control, but we also didn't want to cut his parents out completely. So we came up with a plan to have dinner with them once a week. This way, we could still maintain a relationship with them, but it wouldn't be overwhelming. I also made sure to arrive a bit earlier to help with dinner preparations. It was a small gesture, but it seemed to make a big difference. His mother was a bit surprised at first, but she warmed up to the idea. I think she appreciated the help and it gave us a chance to bond a bit more. We even started cooking together sometimes, which turned out to be a lot of fun. It was a good opportunity for me to show that I wasn't just there to eat and run, but that I genuinely wanted to contribute. His father also seemed more relaxed with this new arrangement. With me coming over less frequently, he felt more comfortable in his own home. And when I did come over, I made an effort to engage him in conversation and show interest in his hobbies. It was a bit awkward at first, but over time it got easier and we found some common ground. As for my boyfriend, he's been really supportive through all of this. He's been coming over to my place more often, and we've been finding new activities to do together. It's been great for our relationship to have this time to ourselves. We've been able to talk more openly and honestly about our feelings and our future. In the end, I think this whole situation has been a learning experience for all of us. I've learned that sometimes it's important to compromise and make an effort, even when you feel like you haven't done anything wrong. My boyfriend has learned to stand up for our relationship and make sure that we're both being treated fairly. And his parents have learned to be more accepting and to communicate their feelings more clearly. Overall, I'm really happy with how things have turned out. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. I feel like we've all grown from this experience and our relationships are stronger because of it. So, thank you again to everyone who offered advice. It really made a difference and I'm grateful for the support. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. Hey there, it sounds like you've been really considerate in helping out at your boyfriend's place. It's tough when you feel like you're walking on eggshells, especially with family. Your feelings are valid, and it's great that you've communicated with your boyfriend. Setting boundaries and finding a balance is key. Comment 2. I've been in a similar boat with my partner's folks. It's like no matter how much you do, it's never quite enough, right? We also decided to limit visits, and it made a world of difference. Sometimes space is the best way to keep the peace and respect everyone's comfort zones. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.